Our Canada Day special continues here on TMS with everything happening in the world. It is no surprise many of us are stepping forward and proudly displaying the fact that we are Canadian.
You bet, and that goes for our online presence as well. Adam Eisner is with CIRA and joins us this morning, along with business owner Cameron O'Neill. Nice to see you both. Adam, welcome back to the show. You were here with us a couple of weeks ago talking about CIRA. Just remind us about the good work that you do there.
So CIRA is a national not-for-profit that's responsible for operating the .ca domain name extension. And we also offer a number of programs and services aimed at making the internet safer and more accessible for everybody.
Okay, now let's talk about the movement of Proudly Canadian. We are seeing it more than ever, not only in the stores and grocery stores, but online as well.
Absolutely. Canadian business owners really want to showcase the fact that they're Canadian to their customers more than ever. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by using a .ca domain name, which is super affordable and super easy to use, and is really a great way to showcase not only the fact that you're a Canadian business, but establish trust with your customer base that's looking for a Canadian provider, a Canadian business as well.
Sure. And Cameron, let's talk a little bit more about that, because you and your wife, you own an architecture and interior design firm. Obviously, online presence is mandatory these days. Talk us through that decision to go with a .ca domain.
It was the first and easiest decision we made. Everything we do in our industry and in our profession is local. Local clients, local contractors, local municipalities. So it was the first introduction to our clients that we were local, and we had a inside track on local business solution, local business practices, municipal requirements, provincial codes. So it's that first necessity in that interview process with clients that we needed to get right.
It really helps the customer find you. It makes it eliminates one question right off the bat.
Yes.
Adam, rising tariffs, uncertainty south of the border. What have you seen trending over the last few months?
So there are more than 3.4 million .ca domain names on the internet, and it's certainly the case that every year that number grows. However, once tariffs were announced, it was really remarkable to see that almost immediately the interest in sales in .ca domain names begin to spike. And in fact, we've seen more interest and more sales in .ca recently than we have seen in a number of years. And so it's very clear to us that Canadians are starting to make a statement to say that we want to be associated with Canada. We want our businesses to be associated with not only Canada, but being Canadian, and that it's becoming increasingly more important.
And there really seems to be a couple of stories here. There's a Cameron who just told us about his business and wanting to be local and reaching out to local customers and clients. But Adam, there's a national story here as well.
There's absolutely a national story. So in order to have a .ca domain name, you need to have a national connection with Canada. So whether that is being a resident or you are a business with a Canadian presence, you have to have a direct connection to Canada in order to have a .ca domain name. And that's a really important part about why .ca is safe, stable, and secure. And that really does play out in how Canadians think about .ca. So for example, we know through our research that Canadians are 4 times more likely to click on a .ca domain name when shopping for a product or service online than a .com. And we really do think it's through those presence requirements that's one of the big reasons that has come to be.
And Cameron, what would you want other business owners to know about .ca?
I don't know why you would choose anything else. I mean, especially given the fact of the trade issues we're having locally or globally, nationally. Locally, it's one of those things that gives you that inside track to provide a safe, comfortable solution for any potential client or customer you'd have. It also gives you that jumping off point where you can further entrench yourself into the community, be it sponsorship, local activities. There's so many different ways where you can pivot from that .ca into a broader context to be an immediate beneficiary or source of solutions for your customer base. It's the only solution really that I think any Canadian business should have, especially a small business.
All right, some great information. Adam and Cameron, great to see you both this morning, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much.
Great, thanks for having us.
Coming up, Colby Smulders and Ben Foster talk about filming Sharp Corner on Canada's East Coast. This portion of the morning show is brought to you by CIRA. .ca is our domain.